Hello, lovely people. This is Uncle Wolf. Once upon a time, there was a little girl. One day at school, she hides out to avoid her schoolwork and misses out when her teacher rewards the other students with pancakes. Livid, she goes home and complains to her mother, who, being a kind soul, offers to make some pancakes for her. But they don't have a skillet to make the pancakes in, so her mother sends her to borrow one from Uncle Wolf. She goes to his house and hammers on the door and demands to borrow the skillet. Despite how rudely she behaves, Uncle Wolf agrees to let her borrow the skillet. He only has one request, that she return the skillet full of pancakes, and bring him a loaf of bread and a bottle of wine. So the little girl goes home, and her mother makes her pancakes, and then fills the skillet with more to take back to Uncle Wolf as thanks for the use of the skillet, as well as a fine loaf of bread and a good bottle of wine. But on the way, the little girl gets hungry again, being a greedy child, and she eats all the pancakes and the entire loaf of bread and drinks the whole bottle of wine. It's a fairy tale, so they probably weren't thinking of child alcoholism, and anyway, it might have been safer to drink wine than water in those days, what with people falling into wells and such. Anyway, instead of going to Uncle Wolf empty-handed, the little girl decides to trick him, and this is where it gets gross. To replace the pancakes, she fills the skillet with donkey dung. To replace the wine, she goes to a puddle, fills it with muddy water. To replace the bread, she steals a block of lime from a stonemason and fashions it to look like a loaf of bread. Uncle Wolf, of course, is not fooled by the fake food. He would have to be pretty dense to think that a pile of donkey poo was pancakes. And he's very angry that she would try to deceive him like this. He tells her that he will come to eat her that night. The little girl goes home crying, and they lock the doors and windows, but Uncle Wolf comes down the chimney, as fairy tale wolves should, and that's exactly what he does. He eats the little girl. What were you expecting exactly? Old-timey fairy tales were gory. And bratty, greedy children often don't make it out of the story. I'm sorry if the ending of that video seemed harsh. I came across this story years ago when I was young, in a collection of fairy tales by Italo Calvino. I hope I pronounced that right. And it was full of stories just like it. The good old-fashioned, really gory fairy tales that didn't pull its punches with character death. I guess they were trying to teach good morals and not to be a jerk, but really, couldn't they have found a better way to do it? Anyway, I hope this wasn't too weird for people. I'll see you next week, lovely people.